What critical events shaped the 100-Year War?
In our hands is the most successful empire in history. It's time we expanded it.
The 100-Year War, also known as the Great War, began with Fire Lord Sozin.
I've seen the colony, Sozin. How dare you occupy Earth Kingdom territory?
Avatar Roku could have prevented Sozin's goal to expand the Fire Nation, but he didn't.
I'm sparing you, Sozin. I'm letting you go in the name of our past friendship. But I warn you, even a single step out of line will result in your permanent end.
Fire Lord Sozin would not repay that kindness. Not when the Avatar was in a life-or-death situation.
It's too much! Please.
Without you, all my plans are suddenly possible.
Roku passed at age 70. 12 years later, a great comet arrived, one that would amplify the power of firebending by 100 suns. Dreadfully, Sozin used that power for mass destruction.
The timing was perfect to change the world. I knew the next Avatar would be born an air nomad, so I wiped out the air temples.
The Airbender annihilation marked the beginning of the 100-Year War, a war that continued to devastate the other nations.
And how was it Great-Grandfather Sozin managed to win the Battle of Han Tui?
Great-grandfather won because
even though his army was outnumbered, he cleverly calculated his advantages. The enemy was downwind and there was a drought. Their defenses burned to a crisp in minutes.
Fire Lord Sozin was a powerful leader, although despite victories in battle, one failure haunted him.
Somehow the new Avatar eluded me. I've wasted the remainder of my life searching in vain. I know he's hiding out there somewhere. The Fire Nation's greatest threat. The last Airbender.
His heir, Fire Lord Azulon, continued Sozin's efforts. The Earth Kingdom city of Taku was once an important trading post. It's home to a herbalist institute that used to send medicine across the world. This was one of the first Earth Kingdom cities destroyed by the Fire Nation, likely Azulon's first major victory. Not much is known about the Battle of Garsai, other than it was important enough to be mentioned in Azulon's funeral.
Azulon, you were our fearless leader in the Battle of Garsai, our matchless conqueror of the Husin provinces.
Many believe that the Husin provinces turned into more Fire Nation colonies. 35 years into the war, Azulon began his most heinous effort.
You're a waterbender! I've never met another waterbender from our tribe.
That's because the Fire Nation wiped them all out.
That's right. Azulon's army began raids on the southern water tribes, capturing every bender they could. Their numbers quickly dwindled. Hama, a lone survivor, was one of the last ones defending the tribe.
Finally, I too was captured. I was led away in chains, the last waterbender of the Southern Water Tribe.
While those prisoners remained captive, the Southern Water Tribe was left without a single waterbender for almost 50 years. But we all know that Hama eventually escaped from her prison, and she did so using a new, fearfully powerful technique: bloodbending. It is speculated that the Bloodbender's escape was the reason these raids continued roughly 60 years after they began. It would also explain why they were even worse this time around.
My source says there's one waterbender left in the Southern Water Tribe. We're not leaving until we find the waterbender.
It's me. Take me as your prisoner.
I'm afraid I'm not taking prisoners today.
The next major event in the 100-Year War occurred at the Earth Kingdom's largest city, Ba Sing Se.
If the city is as magnificent as its wall, Ba Sing Se must be something to behold. I hope you all may see it someday, if we don't burn it to the ground first.
Known as the Impenetrable City, the dual-walled stronghold faced an invasion that lasted nearly 2 years. But in the end, the Earth Nation prevailed.
I acknowledge my defeat at Ba Sing Se. After 600 days away from home, my men were tired, and I was tired. And I'm still tired.
Many attribute that outcome to the death of one important soldier.
Iroh has lost his son. Your cousin, Lu Ten, did not survive the battle.
The impact of Lu Ten's death on Iroh was no secret. Though even as this general gave up fighting, there was another, more important change in leadership.
As was your dying wish, you are now succeeded by your second son. Hail Fire Lord Ozai!
Fire Lord Azulon had died in the 95th year of war. Few would learn years later that Azulon had actually been poisoned at the will of his second son, the new Fire Lord. 4 years later, Avatar Aang emerged from a ball of ice to an awfully unbalanced world.
Firebenders? They were here?
Rumors began to spread across the world of the Avatar's return. Hope returned as well, as evident by small pockets of insurgents. One ship of Earth Kingdom prisoners was lost to a revolt.
Here's your chance, Earthbenders! Take it! Your fate is in your own hands!
And another occupied village was disrupted by a flood.
This was a victory, Katara. Remember that. The Fire Nation is gone and this valley will be safe.
But when Avatar Aang was captured by Admiral Zhao and the Yuyan archers, resistance arrived in an unexpected form.
Who are you? What's going on? Are you here to rescue me? I'll take that as a yes.
The man behind the Blue Spirit? Fire Lord Ozai's son, Prince Zuko. The banished prince needed to capture Aang himself to regain his honor, so Zuko took the victory away from his peer, Admiral Zhao. But in doing so, Zuko made a powerful enemy.
I didn't know you were skilled with broadswords, Prince Zuko.
I'm not. They're antiques, just decorative.
Have you heard of the Blue Spirit, General Iroh?
Just rumors. I don't think he is real.
He's real, all right. He's a criminal and an enemy of the Fire Nation. But I have a feeling justice will catch up with him soon.
The discovery of Zuko's secret led to an attempted assassination.
Oh!
Meanwhile, the Avatar and his allies discovered Earth Kingdom refugees in the Northern Air Temple. These refugees were being forced to build weapons for the Fire Nation, so Team Avatar helped liberate them. This had dire consequences though, because in the process, they unknowingly handed the Fire Nation a game-changing invention.
This defeat is the gateway to many victories.
Conflict arose further north as the Fire Navy approached their next target. Admiral Zhao brought his fleet to the doorstep of the Northern Water Tribe. Aided by a reinstated General Iroh, the Fire Navy waited until morning to attack. It was a 2-day assault, one that even the Avatar wasn't powerful enough to stop at first.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
What happened?
I must have taken out a dozen Fire Navy ships, but there's just too many of them.
Zhao's fleet anchored on the first night. It was known that the moon amplified a waterbender's power. The next day, the Fire Nation breached the tribe's defense.
The Water Tribe can try to resist the inevitable, but their city will fall today.
As the Fire Nation battled the Northern Water Tribe, Admiral Zhao snuck into the tribe's sacred space, the Spirit Oasis. This was home to the Moon and Ocean Spirit, and by taking out the Moon Spirit, the power of waterbending would be erased from this world.
Whatever you do to that spirit, I'll unleash on you tenfold! Let it go now!
He succeeded, briefly, until Princess Yue surrendered herself to become the New Moon Spirit. That sacrifice, along with the Avatar and the Ocean Spirit, secured a victory for the Northern Water Tribe. Admiral Zhao was lost in battle. Winter concluded without further incident. In spring of the 100th year, the Fire Nation invaded the second largest city in the Earth Kingdom, Omashu.
The day of the invasion, I asked King Bumi what he wanted to do. He looked me in the eye and said,
I'm going to do nothing.
nothing.
Omashu's main industry was making weapons for war. So when King Bumi surrendered, it did not bode well for the rest of the Earth Kingdom. Ba Sing Se was faced with another assault by the Fire Nation. This time, the invaders planned to break through the city's protective walls by unconventional means.
This drill is a feat of scientific ingenuity and raw destructive power. Once it tunnels through the wall, our troops will storm their city. The Earth Kingdom will finally fall, and you can claim Ba Sing Se. Nothing can stop us.
The Earth Kingdom army was totally unprepared for such a machine. Even Team Avatar struggled for a solution.
There's the inner mechanism where we are now, and the outer shell. The inner part and the outer part are connected by these braces. If we cut through them, the entire thing will collapse.
This was a major victory for the Earth Kingdom.
We lost.
The machine also proved to the Earth King that there was, in fact, a war going on. Until now, the king had been gaslighted by his police force, the Dai Li. His Highness had no clue there had been a war raging his entire life.
Surely you don't believe these children instead of your most loyal attendant?
Dai Li, arrest Long Feng. I want him to stand trial for crimes against the Earth Kingdom.
Team Avatar stopped the takeover from the outside, but not the inside.
We are the Earth King's humble servants.
Disguised as a Kyoshi warrior, Fire Lord Ozai's daughter infiltrated the city. Princess Azula established control over the Dai Li, and the coup of Ba Sing Se was swift. Eventually, after the perceived death of Avatar Aang, the impenetrable city was taken.
We've done it, Zuko. It's taken 100 years, but the Fire Nation has conquered Ba Sing Se.
The Fire Nation had come closer to conquering the entire Earth Kingdom than ever before, but there was still a dangerous variable.
General Shainu, your report.
Thank you, sir. Ba Sing Se is still under our control. However, Earthbender rebellions have prevented us from achieving total victory in the Earth Kingdom. What are you suggesting, sir?
When the comet last came, my grandfather, Fire Lord Sozin, used it to wipe out the air nomads. Now, I will use its power to end the Earth Kingdom. Permanently.
If not sooner, the 100-Year War would be decided during the return of Sozin's comet. But there was another celestial event shortly before, an eclipse. Without the sun, firebenders would be powerless, so the Resistance chose this moment to invade the Fire Nation capital. It appeared to be the biggest organized retaliation against the Fire Nation yet.
When this is finished, the Avatar will have defeated the Fire Lord. We will have control of the Fire Nation capital, and this war will be over.
Unfortunately, Avatar Aang did not reach Fire Lord Ozai during the 8-minute eclipse. The invasion failed.
You're our only chance in the long run. You and Sokka have to go with Aang somewhere safe. It's the only way to keep hope alive.
The youngest of our group should go with you. The adults will stay behind and surrender. We'll be prisoners, but we'll all survive this battle.
This day was a failure for the Resistance in part, though a key ally would be liberated. Prince Zuko took the opportunity of the eclipse to stand up to his father, officially severing ties with Fire Lord Ozai's regime.
I'm going to join the Avatar, and I'm going to help him defeat you.
Really?
Elsewhere, an even larger victory against the Fire Nation emerged, in Omashu.
An eclipse? That'll do it.
King Bumi liberated the city after patiently biding his time. Omashu, which had been briefly renamed New Ozai, was purged of its Fire Nation invaders.
What do you think you're doing?
Taking back my city. You've got no firepower, and it's payback time.
In the short time between the eclipse and the comet, Zuko played a critical role in rescuing prisoners from a containment camp at Boiling Rock. This was the first successful escape from the Fire Nation's most advanced maximum security prison.
Sorry, Warden. Your record is officially broken.
The escape led Princess Azula to the Western Air Temple, where her forces nearly captured Zuko and Aang. Team Avatar got away. the Resistance were free to regroup and strategize. And it all led up to this. 100 years after it departed, Sozin's comet returned. Its presence fueled firebenders like gasoline. The 100-Year War came down to 3 central battles. The first occurred in Ba Sing Se. A charge was led by the Order of the White Lotus, a group of master benders from every nation, directed by former General Iroh.
When I was a boy, I had a vision that I would one day take Ba Sing Se. Only now do I see that my destiny is to take it back from the Fire Nation, so the Earth Kingdom can be free again.
The second major battle happened on a smaller scale. It was in Agni Kai for the Fire Nation throne.
Zuko, you must return to the Fire Nation so that when the Fire Lord falls, you can assume the throne and restore peace and order. But Azula will be there, waiting for you.
I can handle Azula.
Not alone. You'll need help.
You're right. Katara, how would you like to help me put Azula in her place?
It would be my pleasure.
Finally, the battle at Wulong Forest would decide a trajectory for the rest of the world. Fire Lord Ozai, now the self-proclaimed Phoenix King, led an army to eradicate the Earth Nation. But one challenger intervened. It was the boy who had eluded Ozai and his forefathers for a century. Avatar Aang, the last Airbender.
Fire Lord Ozai, you and your forefathers have devastated the balance of this world, and now you shall pay the ultimate price!
The passing of Sozin's comet drew great power and great destruction, and in the end, the Fire Nation's army fell. The airships were destroyed. Ba Sing Se was liberated. Azula was defeated by Katara of the Southern Water Tribe, and interestingly enough, it was Azula's namesake, Fire Lord Azulon, who had originally tried to eradicate waterbenders in the Southern Water Tribe. Had Azulon succeeded, perhaps so would have Azula. But most importantly, Ozai's reign ended when the Phoenix King was stripped of his firebending powers entirely, an absolutely unheard of feat. The war was over.
I promised my uncle that I would restore the honor of the Fire Nation. And I will. The road ahead of us is challenging. 100 years of fighting has left the world scarred and divided. But with the Avatar's help, we can get it back on the right path and begin a new era of love and peace.
What lessons can we learn from the 100-Year War? Comment below and keep watching for all things Avatar.
Make sense of our past, Aang, and you will bring peace and restore balance in the world.